G'day guys. Okay, so we've just finished drawing the finials. We haven't got them in the perfectly correct position yet. We've got them perfectly centered on the top, but we haven't figured out this, how far forward they are from the back, like what this kind of gap here or that gap has to be. To do that, if we look at the first drawing, this one here, we can see that the crown profile side bits line up perfectly with the back and butts right up against the finial. So if we figure out what that length is, we know exactly how far or exactly what position it needs to be in. So let's go to the crown profile sides drawing, which is here, and we can see that that is 85 millimeters long. Okay, so that means the gap from the back of the base to the back of the finial needs to be 85 millimeters. So let's see, we'll go from the back, measure 85 millimeters. And what we can do is, because we've grouped we didn't group them. We hold down Shift, click, click, right click, make a group. So they'll all move together now. We grab the Move tool, click on here. We want to be going on the red axis. So just move it so it's on the red axis. Hold down Shift to lock it on the red axis. Then hover over that guide point you made at 85 millimeters and click. Okay, so now that's in the exact right position. So let's see, the crown profile side. That looks pretty easy. We'll do those first. We've got a piece of 19 millimeter thick timber, and it's 20 millimeters at the top. And again, student to customize crown profile. So you just put your own design on there. If you want to do a nice gentle slope like that, you can. If you want to do something a bit fancier, you can do that. But let's see, I reckon I'm just going to put a nice easy one in. So we need to go somewhere here. We won't put it in the exact right position yet. We can move it later. And it's got to be 19 millimeters wide and 19 millimeters thick, 85 millimeters long. So we type in 85, 19, enter, and we're going to push that up to 20 millimeters. I mean, you could push it up to the top here if you want, and then you've got a bit more material to work with to put your design in. I'll put 20 in just because that's what it says in the drawing. And then we measure 10 millimeters up to the back, and we're going to put a 2-point arc in from there to there and just put a bulge in of whatever you think looks nice. You might think a really exaggerated one looks nice. You might think a little gentle one looks good. I reckon a bulge of 5 millimeters will look pretty good. Okay. So we can push that away. I just realized I haven't made it a component yet. So let's triple click, right click, make component, call it crown profile side. Right, fantastic. Now, if this is 19, we want it to be perfectly centered on, like, in the middle of the finial. So again, let's move it all the way to the corner. We'll measure the gap left over, which is 19 millimeters, and we need to move it half of that. So we know half of 19 is 9.5, so move it 9.5 millimeters across, and that will be perfectly in the center. Okay, so what we can do over here is we can use the tape measure to put in a line 9.5 millimeters away. Did that leave a mark? It did, right? We'll grab this crown profile, or a copy of the crown profile, move tool, press Control, click on that. We've got another copy and move it to that guide point. Okay, so there are the side crown profiles in, easy peasy. Now, we'll paint them quickly because we know we're done with them. Paint and paint. Cool. Get out of that tray. Now we just need to put the crown profile fronts on. Now again, it says student to customize crown profile, so you can make it whatever design you like. So you could, because we know, let's draw them in now in the center because it's not that hard. We measure from the back corner, if I can. There we go. 9.5 millimeters in. We're going to draw a rectangle that is 19 millimeters thick and 130 millimeters. So we'll go 19, 130, enter. That's how big the piece is. This one is pushed up 55 millimeters, which is a bit above that actually. So we'll go 55, right, like that. So, and again, these pieces are just going to be made out of offcuts, things you find in the scrap wood bin, any piece of radiata pine or whatever you're making out of that you find that would fit in here, and then you're just going to draw your own pattern on it. So I'm just going to put in, I'll just do this pattern because it's pretty easy, but again, get creative, see what you can come up with. Let's go up maybe, that one says 35 millimeters, so we'll go 35 millimeters, and then here we'll go up 20. Okay, and then we'll go across maybe 35 millimeters for that point. We'll put in a 2-point arc from that guide point to that guide point, slope it in, whatever you reckon looks nice, maybe a 5 mil bulge again, here to here. And again, I reckon a 5 mil bulge will look pretty good. That looks a bit flat actually. Maybe we'll go a bit more. All right, so that looks pretty good. What's that? Nearly 15. Okay, we'll put in 15. There we go. We can now push these away, and that's the crown profile front as well. So let's triple click that, right click, make it a component, crown profile, oops, front, enter. Now we need to make a copy of it and move it into the position. So let's mark our position first with the tape measure, which is 9.5 millimeters away from the back edge. Grab the move tool, press Control, make a copy. We need to turn it around 180 degrees. Oh, we can type in 90. Oh, that didn't work. Come on. Come on. There we go, 90 degrees. We'll grab the back corner here and move it to that guide point. Okay, so there is the crown profiles. Let's paint them fine, like that. All right, so I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's all the timber components of the clock done. Is there anything else we need to do? That's the bedside table. We've done that, 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 that. Yeah, we've done it all. How good's that? All the timber bits done. Okay, so in the next video, we're just going to go over the, I guess, the hardware and accessories. We need to put a little draw pull on. We need to put in a pendulum and a clock face, and that is the clock done. All right, so if you followed on through all this, really great work. Well done. Make sure you edit, delete guides, and you save your work. And I'll see you in the next video when we just put the clock face and stuff on. Okay, see you over there.